Welcome back to Home Cooking and Home Remedies, the podcast where we take traditional foods and remedies that many of us grew up with, and uncover the science behind them. Today, I want to take you into the world of one of the most controversial vegetables on our plates, bitter gourd, also known as Karela in South Asia or bitter melon in English. Now, I can almost hear some of you groaning already. Maybe you're remembering childhood dinners where your mom or grandmother insisted on eating Karela curry, while you tried to sneak the pieces to the side of your plate. Or maybe you remember someone in your family drinking Karela juice in the mornings with a face that said it all, this was no sweet treat. But here's the thing, sometimes the most bitter foods bring the sweetest benefits for health. Across cultures, from India to China, from Africa to the Caribbean, bitter gourd has been used for centuries as both food and medicine. And modern science is now proving that the traditions weren't wrong. This vegetable really does help with blood sugar, digestion, immunity, the liver, and even skin health. So today, we'll explore the 10 biggest, research-backed benefits of bitter gourd, and by the end, I'll share a simple Karela juice recipe you can try at home. By the time we're done, I promise you'll never look at this wrinkled green vegetable the same way again. Benefit 1. Blood sugar control. Let's start with the benefit that bitter gourd is most famous for, controlling blood sugar. In Ayurveda, Karela has been used for thousands of years for Madhumeha, a condition that sounds a lot like diabetes. People were advised to drink its juice or eat it regularly because it helped reduce excessive thirst and urination. Modern science has caught up. Bitter gourd contains 3 powerful compounds, charantin, vicine, and polypeptide-P. Together, these work almost like natural insulin. Clinical studies have found that people with type 2 diabetes who consume bitter gourd experience lower fasting blood glucose, and in some cases, even better HbA1c readings. In one 6-month trial, participants taking bitter gourd powder saw significant drops in their blood sugar compared to the control group. Scientists believe this is because Karela doesn't just lower sugar for the moment, it helps the body regulate glucose more effectively over time. Of course, it's not a replacement for prescribed medicines, but imagine the power of combining modern treatments with a food that has been healing people naturally for centuries. Benefit 2. Improves insulin sensitivity. Now let's go deeper. Diabetes isn't just about high sugar, it's about how the body responds to insulin. In people with insulin resistance, the key, insulin, is there, but the lock, the cell, doesn't open properly. Bitter gourd helps oil that lock. Studies in both humans and animals show that bitter gourd improves insulin sensitivity, meaning the cells start responding again. This is important because insulin resistance is the silent foundation of so many health issues, not just diabetes, but obesity, fatty liver, and even hormonal imbalance. So when you hear people dismiss Karela as just an old folk remedy, remember that science says otherwise. Its unique compounds are literally helping the body function more smoothly at the cellular level. Benefit 3. Supports weight loss. If you've ever been on a weight loss journey, you know how tricky appetite and cravings can be. Bitter gourd helps here too. First, it's naturally low in calories, just 17 calories per 100 grams. That means you can eat a whole serving without guilt. Second, it's full of dietary fiber and water, which keeps you full longer. When people start their day with Karela juice or include it in curries, they often notice fewer mid-morning cravings. Some research suggests bitter gourd also influences fat metabolism, helping the body use fat more efficiently. Think of it as a natural reset button for appetite and digestion, not flashy or dramatic, but quietly powerful. Benefit 4. Improves digestion. We don't often think about bitter flavors in the modern diet, but traditional medicine systems always valued them. Bitterness, according to Ayurveda, wakes up the stomach, increases digestive fire, and clears toxins. Bitter gourd is packed with both soluble and insoluble fiber. Soluble fiber slows down digestion and helps regulate blood sugar after meals. Insoluble fiber works like a broom, sweeping the intestines clean and preventing constipation. Some people even noticed that when they eat bitter gourd regularly, problems like bloating and irregular bowel movements improve. And science now shows that Karela may act as a prebiotic, feeding the good bacteria in your gut, which play a role in immunity and mental health too. Benefit 5. Strengthens heart health. When it comes to protecting the heart, bitter gourd plays multiple roles. By lowering blood sugar, it prevents damage to blood vessels. But that's not all. Studies suggest Karela helps reduce bad cholesterol, LDL, and triglycerides while raising good cholesterol, HDL. That balance is crucial for heart health. On top of that, Karela's antioxidants help reduce oxidative stress in the arteries. Imagine your arteries as pipes. Over time, sugar and cholesterol scratch and weaken them. Bitter gourd's antioxidants act like a protective lining, keeping those pipes smoother and healthier. That means better blood flow and a reduced risk of heart problems in the long run. Benefit 6. Boosts immunity. In today's world, immunity is everything. Bitter gourd provides a surprising boost thanks to its vitamin C, zinc, and iron content. These nutrients help your body make white blood cells, heal wounds faster, and fight infections more effectively. Some studies even show bitter gourd extracts can stop the growth of certain bacteria and viruses. That's why in traditional households, Karela was often recommended after illness to speed up recovery. So while we might reach for fancy supplements today, sometimes the immunity boost is waiting in a humble green vegetable at the market. Benefit 7. Anti-cancer potential. One of the most exciting and promising areas of bitter gourd research is its potential role in fighting cancer. For centuries, traditional healers believed that Karela purifies the blood. At the time, they didn't know about free radicals, DNA damage, or oxidative stress. But their observation that people who consumed Karela regularly seemed to have fewer chronic health problems now makes sense through the lens of modern science. Laboratory studies have found that bitter gourd extracts can slow down the growth of several types of cancer cells, including breast, colon, liver, and prostate cancer. Researchers discovered that Karela contains triterpenoids, flavonoids, and lectins, natural plant chemicals that can disrupt the pathways cancer cells use to grow and multiply. In simple terms, these compounds interfere with the signals that tell cancer cells to divide uncontrollably. One fascinating study on prostate cancer patients found that men who consumed bitter gourd extract for several weeks had reduced activity of a protein linked with tumor growth. While this doesn't mean Karela is a cure, it does suggest that the vegetable has real potential as a supportive dietary therapy. Think of it this way, bitter gourd isn't a magic bullet, but it may act as part of your body's defense army, slowing, weakening, and sometimes even blocking the harmful processes that allow cancer cells to thrive. More human trials are needed, but the evidence so far is a powerful reminder that nature often hides medicine in the most unexpected flavors. Benefit 8. Improves skin health. Now let's talk about something we can see and feel every day, our skin. In many traditional households, bitter gourd juice was considered a natural beauty tonic. Elders would say, drink Karela juice if you want clear skin, and many of us roll our eyes at the thought of gulping down that bitterness. But they weren't wrong. Bitter gourd has powerful anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, and antioxidant properties that work together to improve skin health. When you drink Karela juice, its compounds help flush toxins from the blood, reduce inflammation under the skin, and combat bacteria that contribute to acne. In fact, Ayurvedic practitioners have prescribed Karela for centuries to treat conditions like eczema, psoriasis, and stubborn acne. Modern science supports this. Studies show that antioxidants in bitter gourd, such as vitamin C and beta-carotene, help fight oxidative stress, one of the biggest causes of premature skin aging. By neutralizing free radicals, Karela may reduce wrinkles, fine lines, and dullness, giving the skin a healthier glow. There's also a topical angle. In folk remedies, bitter gourd juice was applied directly to problem areas for conditions like fungal infections, rashes, and wounds. Its antibacterial action helped prevent infections, while its cooling nature soothed irritation. So yes, while modern skincare often comes in shiny bottles, sometimes the secret to healthy skin is sitting quietly in your kitchen. It might not taste sweet, but bitter gourd's power for clear, glowing skin is undeniable. Benefit 9. Cleanses and protects the liver. The liver is the unsung hero of our health, quietly working behind the scenes, filtering toxins, breaking down fats, and keeping blood clean. And bitter gourd happens to be one of the best foods for supporting it. In traditional medicine, Karela was always seen as a liver cleanser. People recovering from fevers, infections, or heavy diets were often advised to drink Karela juice to reset their system. Today, we know that bitter gourd stimulates bile production, which improves fat digestion and helps the liver do its job more efficiently. Research on animals has shown that bitter gourd can actually reduce fat buildup in the liver, making it a potential ally against non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, NAFLD, which is becoming increasingly common due to sedentary lifestyles and poor diets. Karela also seems to help balance liver enzymes, reducing oxidative stress and protecting liver cells from damage. Think of bitter gourd as a natural tune-up for your liver, keeping it cleaner, lighter, and better equipped to handle the daily flood of toxins from food, environment, and stress. When your liver works well, your whole body feels more energetic and balanced. Benefit 10. Protects eye health. Finally, let's talk about one of our most precious senses, our eyesight. Bitter gourd is rich in beta-carotene, lutein, and vitamin A nutrients that are absolutely vital for healthy vision. Traditional households often recommended Karela for children with weak eyesight, and modern nutrition validates this wisdom. Vitamin A prevents night blindness, while antioxidants like lutein protect the retina from damage caused by oxidative stress. Over time, this protection may help reduce the risk of conditions like cataracts and age-related macular degeneration. But Karela's benefits for the eyes aren't just about prevention. The cooling nature of bitter gourd has long been used in Ayurvedic remedies to reduce eye redness, irritation, and strain. Some people even apply diluted Karela juice around tired eyes as a soothing home remedy. In today's world, where so many of us spend hours staring at screens, adding Karela to the diet could be a simple but effective way to support long-term eye health. It may not replace carrots in the popular imagination, but bitter gourd holds its own place as an underrated friend of your vision. Bitter gourd juice recipe. Now that we've explored bitter gourd's many benefits, let's bring this knowledge straight into the kitchen. And what better way than with the most famous home remedy of all, bitter gourd juice. For generations, this juice has been used in India, China, and the Caribbean as a morning tonic. Grandmothers would insist on it, doctors of Ayurveda prescribed it, and today, nutritionists still recommend it for blood sugar balance and detox. It's not a fashionable smoothie with sweet fruits and fancy powders. It's raw, earthy, and unapologetically bitter. But in that bitterness lies its healing power. Here's how to make it, and why each step matters. Start with 1 to 2 medium-sized bitter gourds. Wash them thoroughly, because their bumpy skin tends to hold dust and dirt. Many people lightly scrape the outer skin, but don't remove it entirely. Most of the nutrients sit just beneath. Next, cut the Karelas lengthwise. Inside, you'll find seeds and a soft pith. Now here's a choice. If you want a milder taste, remove the seeds and pith. But if you want maximum nutrition, leave them in, and the seeds contain valuable compounds too, though they intensify the bitterness. To reduce the sharp edge of Karela, chop the pieces and soak them in salted water for about 15 minutes. This old household trick draws out some of the bitterness without taking away the nutrition. In fact, in many Indian homes, people rub salt directly into the slices, let them rest, then rinse before cooking or juicing. Now comes the blending. Place the Karela pieces into a blender with half a cup of water. For extra digestive and anti-inflammatory power, add a small piece of ginger. Ginger doesn't just improve the flavor, it also boosts the gut-friendly effect of Karela. Blend until smooth, then strain the juice into a glass. At this stage, you can customize it to your taste. A squeeze of lemon juice adds vitamin C, brightens the flavor, and helps the body absorb iron from Karela. A pinch of black salt or pink salt cuts the bitterness and makes the drink more palatable. In the Caribbean, some families even add a dash of honey or dilute the juice with cucumber or apple for a gentler version. And there you have it. A simple, powerful glass of bitter gourd juice. It's best consumed fresh, in the morning, on an empty stomach, when your body is ready to absorb the maximum benefits. Tips for beginners. Don't force yourself to drink a full glass on the first try. Start with a quarter or half glass 2 to 3 times a week. As your taste buds adapt and your body adjusts, you can gradually increase to a full glass daily if needed. Remember, too much Karela juice at once may cause stomach discomfort or a sharp drop in blood sugar, especially for people already taking diabetes medication. So, when you sip this juice, don't just think of it as a bitter drink. Think of it as a tradition passed through centuries, a natural medicine hidden in plain sight, and a reminder that not all good things taste sweet. And there you have it, the bitter truth about bitter gourd. A vegetable that may wrinkle your face but will reward your body in countless ways. From balancing blood sugar to cleansing the liver, from boosting immunity to glowing skin, Karela proves that bitterness often carries the deepest healing. Thank you for joining me today on Home Cooking and Home Remedies. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with someone you know who could benefit from Karela's wisdom. And don't forget to subscribe, because next week we'll uncover another traditional ingredient where ancient remedies meet modern science. Until then, remember this, sometimes the foods you resist the most are the ones your body needs the most.